Hey, welcome back everybody. So we've got a 2015 Sierra in here and I'm going to give you a guess what's wrong with it. Just one guess. And if you guessed rocker rust, you would be 100% accurate on that. A lot of these trucks do this, and it's up to us to fix them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get started on this. I'm going to show you some of the procedure it takes to actually do this job, so you have a better understanding of what's going to happen if you have to have it done to your truck or if you do it to your truck. All right, our first step is we're going to go ahead and get in here to this connection that you can see right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop this down out of the way and take your trusty screwdriver and pop your lever down and unhook the electronics to your door. Then it's just a matter of 4 bolts, 2 on top, 2 on the bottom, and then the 2 bolts that hold this, or you just take the 1 bolt out, whichever you choose. And that's literally all there is to it to get this door off. So let's go ahead and get these loose and get it out of the way. And I will tell you why I take the door off. So I take the door off in the rear especially. I don't know if I'm going to take the front door off because most of the time I can kind of work around it because it opens up so wide. But the rear doors are kind of a hindrance when you're trying to do rockers on these trucks because you're lifting it on and off, you're making your cuts, you're trying to get everything to fit properly, and you got to do a lot of work right here in this area anyway because you're going to be cutting and welding metal. So a lot of times I find it's just easier to pull the door off than to have to worry about damage from sparks flying or whatever it may be hitting the door panels and could potentially cause places in the door panel, or it's just easier. So at this point I've already got the rocker marked where I need to make my cuts. I'm going to go ahead and make my first initial cut. Probably have to trim some more later on, but right now at least that way I can get it marked on the truck and I know where we're at. So let's go ahead and get that part of it done. So I know you're gonna have questions because if I had just watched this part, I probably would too. Now, you're gonna wonder, why do you have to cut a brand new rocker? Shouldn't it already be cut to fit? Yes and no. So the reason I'm cutting this one is because I actually ordered one for a crew cab truck because some of, let me get it where you can see it here, some of the rust comes up past and extends into this part of the cab back here. So what I did is, I'll show you, I cut a tab right here and I left this, longer, so when the rocker stops I can actually fold this around and weld it into the cab corner and get out a little bit more rust, so we don't have to worry about having any other issues. And that's the reason I did that. And it's just basically taking a metal dolly and a hammer and just kind of folding it around and making sure it fits the contour of the panel. Really all there is to that. So, easy enough for me to do it. Figured just take the extra step, get it done. So let's go ahead and get this rocker cut out and see what all the damage is and how bad it actually is. And hopefully all we have to do is the inner structure and the outer support, or the inner support and the outer structure. So fingers crossed, folks. Okay, so I wanted to take a second here and show you what I just found on this truck, or actually a really good example of what's going on with this truck. Now the reason the rust is so severe on this truck, because if you look, all that's got to be replaced, and it's going to end up being a little bit more than what I actually quoted the customer, just because when you get into rust repair, guess what? You find other stuff. But that is a reason right here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but this is a piece of metal that I just cut out of the body. And right there is a piece of what looks to be coating that they put on it to prevent rust. And if you look on the back side of the coating, it has done exactly the opposite. Now, they say, oh, this is rocker guard, this is that. Well, if you ask me, it's rust your rocker out, because all it does is, if there's a chip in this stuff, it traps moisture, and that moisture spreads onto the whole piece, causing rust. So if you're gonna be getting what they call rocker coating, think twice about it before you actually buy it. All right, so I've got this thing pretty well where we're gonna need it. I've got it tacked in place. Now I'm going to go ahead and make it permanent, because I'm going to go ahead and put the final wheels on it and then get everything to fit the way I want. So let's go ahead and get that done, and then see if we can get this thing finished out. So where we're at right now, I'm getting ready to go over here and cut the other side, but I wanted to show you this side really quick, show you how it turned out, see what you think about it, because I think it come out pretty good. Now I'm just kind of getting everything taped and ready for when I go to spray it here in just a second. So this is what it looks like. Like I say, it's all still bare metal. I'm going to prime it here very soon, but I want to get that side cut out to where it's ready for priming. I'll get them both, and then we're all set. So let's go over here and get this side cut out. I've got this side cut out. It was not near as bad. You know, like I said, there's a lot of savable metal. On the other side, I had to replace all of this, and then the inner structure, which is down there, you know, it's a little rusty, but I can clean that up, and we can actually save that because the inner structure is actually solid. So this side, yeah, this is where you want to replace your rockers, where you're starting to get the bubbles on the outside. So that way you kind of know, oh, wait a minute, there's a problem. Because once you see the bubbles, and I'm going to take you outside here, and I'm going to show you how bad this rocker actually is. Once you see the bubbles on the outside of your rocker, well, on the inside, it kind of looks like this. And you can see where I cut it, and you can see where the moisture sits, and that's just exactly how bad they go. Because once you start seeing the bubbles on the outside of it, yeah, your rocker's probably going to be needing to replace on these 14 to 18 model Silverados and GMCs, unless you have put oil or some kind of anti-rust solution in behind there. So there we go. Let's get back to cutting some more steel. Okay, I am getting ready to put our last application filler on this, so that's what I'm doing now. So let's go ahead and get this on here, and yes, it is hot in here today. All right. We're almost done. So I went ahead and got everything pretty well primed, ready. Now we're getting ready to spray our coating. In case you can hear the mixer, I've got a batch of coating that's going to go on the rockers. It's really going to give it a nice clean look. And you know, we already did the cab corner repair. I'll show you that real quick. So it came out pretty dang nice. I like the way it came out. So now we're just going to go ahead, get everything sprayed, done and over with, and it's going to be absolutely just amazing. So let's get it. All right, so here's the finished product. Everything is repaired. We got everything fixed where it was because all that was rusted out before on both sides. And now it's like it never happened. We've got our rust protectant coating on it, so I think we're in pretty good shape. But unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. So if you want to see how some of these other projects turn out, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching.